Okay, this is a super off the cuff video. I just watched this video by Higher Up Wellness on Instagram, and he's talking about, and I'll put a link in the description so you guys can go watch it. But he's talking about how he went into the gym, wasn't feeling it, but he still got like a super quick workout in. It sounded like it was like 15 minutes compared to his normal, I don't know, hour, let's say, and how it still made a difference. It still brought him closer to his goal of having consistency over a long period of time. Let's call it 3 months or a month or whatever, and not not going to the gym is a bigger deal than going to the gym and just doing a little bit. Like there's no whatever amount that you do is still something basically, and it's still like a vote towards you becoming better. And even 10 or 15 minutes in the gym or 2 minutes in the gym is still uh, a step towards a better in yourself as opposed to staying home. And so, sure, you could go to the gym and do that full hour workout that he was doing. I'm kind of going off of my own interpretation of his vision or of his video right now. But sure, you could every step that you take down from the full, let's say, hour-long workout that he has is less than what your full potential was. But if you do nothing, then that's 100% less than your full potential. So at least do something, because every action you do is a vote or a little step in the right direction. And you're never going to get to your end goals, or yeah, you're never get not end goals, but you're never going to get to these milestones goals that you have, because there's never really end to fitness or to most of these goals that we have in life of being healthy or whatever. But the only way they're going to get to your goalpost of this lifelong journey of fitness or health or whatever your goal is, career path. And I'm rambling at this point because it's off the cuff. But by allowing yourself to have a day off, you're kind of programming your mind to not do the daily actions that are supposed to lead to something. And this kind of goes into the reason why I have this calendar, my habit tracker app, is over this past week here, I was on vacation. And I was pretty good at hitting my workouts and trigger sessions, which are like mini bodyweight workouts, basically, on my off days, just to get a little bit of a pump, keep the blood flow, get the muscles going on the days that I'm not going super hard in the gym. I still missed a few days, but I specifically remember on these 2 days, or 3 days actually, these 3 days here that I did do my workout, which was a little bodyweight workout in the hotel room, super late at night. And it was a pretty lazy trigger session. Like, honestly, like, it was normally do 2 rounds of a circuit style training to hit push-ups and pull-ups or rows or something, hit each major muscle group. So I do 2 rounds of the circuit, and I only did 1 round each of those, but it was still something, and it felt better, and it made me feel like, oh yeah, like I'm proud of that, and I did my trigger sessions. And so I'm someone who still works out even when it's 11 o'clock at night. I was at Disney World for this, but I'm someone that still works out even at 11 o'clock at night when I've spent all day in the parks at Disney World. I've got 30,000 steps legitimately, like in my health app I check like 30,000 steps a day. My feet hurt, but I'm still going to do this hard thing. And like, it just feels good, and that good feeling kind of snowballs into other things. And like, looking back, like, I'm proud of that, even though it's pretty dumb and insignificant. But I think doing all those little things every day, or not, I think doing all those little things that are insignificant mentally, like, really makes a big difference. But I didn't do that with reading, is one I'm going to pick out. I was pretty terrible at that. I did have this 3-day streak here, but 2 days missed here, another day here, like, pretty on and off. And I've been saying to myself, like, oh, I'll allow myself to catch up on reading, because whether I read every day or not, it doesn't really matter. With fitness or working out specifically, I know that that is a bigger deal. Like, you really do need to do it every day. There are physiological needs for rest and recovery, and then also to go to the gym, and I can't just work out for 5 hours on one day and make up for not working out during the work week. Like, that's just not how it works. But with reading, it's less so. I can kind of do that. It's not quite the same. Eventually, reading an entire book in one day isn't helpful as opposed to spacing it out. But whether I read 10 pages 2 days, or 20 pages in one day isn't really that big of a deal. But for consistency's sake, I know that I'm less likely to do these. I'm more likely to actually read an entire book if I read consistently every single day, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, like, if I'm going to be getting something every single day and have that consistency, that I need to make sure that it becomes a habit and becomes something that I'm proud of and part of my identity. And reading, like, there was one time I was reading, where was it? I think it was on the bus ride home, or not home, riding from the bus back from the parks to the hotel, and I was doing my reading on the bus, and like, that kind of felt kind of cool. Like, oh, I'm like reading even now. Like, everyone's tired and is either like sleeping on the bus or like watching TikTok or whatever they're doing. Like, I was like still like getting it, grinding, whatever. I know it's silly, it's dumb, but it was kind of it. That still made a difference to know, like, oh, I'm still doing it now, when most people wouldn't. Obviously, I missed quite a few, so it's not at all the same as my workouts and my little trigger sessions. And even then, I missed 2 days. But yeah, anyway, I've been rambling a ton. But basically, what I'm trying to say is the all or nothing mentality doesn't work. Even though or all or nothing, or I'll make up for it another day, like with this reading thing, on paper it should work. But in reality, it doesn't work, or it only works for a small amount of time. Kind of like going in debt. Like, I'm going in reading debt, I guess you could say right here. I'm going in reading debt by missing a day and then trying to make up for the next day. And even like financially as well. Like, you should be able to go into debt if you know you're making money in the future, sort of a thing. But people go into debt and stay in debt all the time because something happens in life, and it's by definition unexpected, because you wouldn't go into debt if you knew you were losing your job later on, but you don't know that you're losing your job, or you don't know that your business isn't going to be doing well next month, and that's why you went into debt, because you thought you'd have the stability. And same thing here, like, maybe I don't do my reading one day because I know that I can get it done the next day. But then the next day rolls around and then I have an emergency, or it's just really busy, or I wake up late so I'm catching up, or whatever it is, and then don't get my reading done. And then that's 2 days. And you can replace reading with whatever, but that's 2 days and you're off. Oh, 2 days in a row. That's a start of a habit, right? The start of a pattern. 1 day off, anomaly. 2 days off, start of a pattern. If you don't take any days off, then the pattern is you staying on track. Taking random 1 days off, you're really close to starting a pattern with 2 days. So I think that's why a lot of people say, like, don't take any days off, or don't plan for any days off, because you're really close to starting a pattern. And we're kind of around the holidays right now, so I think that's a little different. Like, you're around family, it's part of everyone's enjoying it, having a good time, eating good food, laughing, talking, it's part of the experience. Whereas if you're just sitting at home and you want to binge out on some donuts, like, I feel like most people can agree those are very different things. Anyway, I've been rambling a lot. Watch his video down in the description. I'll link it. It's really good, and he probably definitely explains it a lot better than I can. But I thought I could just kind of ramble real quick on my thoughts on that. And yeah, see you guys.